Are you looking to run Facebook and Instagram ads for your luxury brand? Perfect. In today's video, I'm gonna walk you through the most essential steps of running a profitable campaign. I will give you some of the top powerful tips that I wished I knew earlier. Okay, so first we have to understand what is the difference of running ads for a luxury brand and an affordable brand. Because if we take these two business models the same and we use the same ad strategy, then what happens, you are actually losing money, because selling a low ticket product is completely different from selling a much more high-end product. Number one that we have to consider is touch points. How many touch points a customer needs to have in order to make them feel comfortable and confident to convert. When it comes to selling high-end products online for Facebook, for Instagram ads, we have to understand that customer actually needs much more touch points until they convert, comparing with a low ticket product, because there it's a much higher commitment. They really have to like your product and trust you as a brand. Usually what I found when it comes to your frequency, right, how many times a person sees your ad, it should be a little bit higher than average. Make sure that your potential customer saw your ad enough times. I'm talking about having a frequency of 10x and above. When a potential customer saw your ad 10, 15, 20 times, then he or she will be more likely to purchase from you, because they know when a brand is so consistent, then actually it might be good. So if you're running right now some ads and you are not getting any sales, take a look at your frequency, because that might affect your results. I know that this sounds controversial because usually we want to keep our frequency as low as possible. But here we have an exception, as when it comes to selling a high-end product, people really need to see your business like tens and even sometimes hundreds of times. One of the best ways to speed up this process of increasing your frequency and maintaining high is actually spending more on your retargeting campaigns. Now, I'm not saying that you have to neglect prospecting campaigns, but basically get some cold audience to your website and then show your ads heavily to those people. Once we're showing up consistently in front of our customers, we have to take a look at our branding. And here, when I'm talking about branding, I can include a lot of things, starting with social proof. So social proof is a must when it comes to high-end brands. With social proof, what we do, we stack more credibility to your business. The reviews that are the most powerful are from press, from some magazines. They're really compelling because that positions your brand much better. If you have endorsements from public figures, or if you have celebrities that are using your product, that definitely should be used onto your ads and onto your website. All those things fall into the social proof category. These details are adding more value to your product, and your customer can justify the expensive price. After this, other details that are extremely important are the font that you're using, the colors, even the feeling itself when you are on the website. You want your customer to feel immediately that when they are landing on your website, they can feel that this brand is charging a much higher end price. A common mistake that small business owners that are just starting out in this industry is that they make sometimes discounts. Now, I do not really recommend making discounts because that devalues your product and your brand. Look at the most popular high-end brands. You'll observe that they mostly never make any kind of discounts, because here the audience that we are targeting, they are not looking for discounts. They are looking for value. And usually when it comes to this mistake, business owners, they are giving usually like 10% off for the first purchase. And that is really a huge mistake, because that is the first impression. If you're making this kind of impression to the customer, they will always know that this brand might give them a discount, and they will always wait for the discount. There is no such thing like medium positioning. Either it's a high-end brand or it's an affordable brand. With high-end brand, you are more positioning yourself as selling more valuable products that build some kind of authority or build some kind of status. So there it's more about emotional appeal, or you sell affordable products where people make more calculated decisions. We were talking about audiences, so that leads me to the next point, which is what kind of audience that you want to target in your ads manager. One of the most powerful audiences are lookalike based on your customer list. Lookalike in Facebook Ads Manager are people who look very similar to an audience that you already have, that you've already accumulated. So in this case is customer list. You might also have website visitors or social media engagers, but one of the most powerful is customer list, because there you have people who have already purchased from you. So what we are going to do, we are going to target people who have similar behaviors, who have similar interests like that core audience. And the rule of thumb that I love to follow is if your customer list is smaller, the lookalike should be much higher. So with lookalike, we can use a percentage from 1% to 10%. If you see that your customer list is quite small and limited, then go ahead and have a much broader lookalike. Go to 5% and above. Now, what if you're just starting out and you don't have any customers in your list? In that case, we're gonna start with interests. What I would recommend is categorizing your interests so we can have different audiences that fall into one category. For example, hobbies. And within hobbies, we have golf, skiing, flying, horse and car racing, polo, vineyard, and many other ones. So basically the hobbies that rich people are doing in their spare time. We also could have an audience where we are targeting some kind of investments or their job title like CEO or business owner. And finally, we could have an audience that are interested in luxury cars, real estate, luxury brands, so in general, some kind of luxury goods. The next thing that we have to understand is the budget. Now, when it comes to spending on ads for getting customers for your high-end brand, we have to understand that in order to acquire a customer, we have to spend enough. If you are selling a $2,000 product and you are spending $10, $20 per day, well, that might take you weeks and maybe even sometimes months until you get just one single purchase from that product. That's why you have to be aware of your cost per acquisition, which means how much you should spend to get one customer. The beauty is that usually you might have enough profit to spend to acquire a customer. Let's say that your profit margin is 50-70%. Well, right there you can spend $1,000 to acquire a customer. And of course, you're not making any profit from that, but at least you got one customer. And that is much more valuable because then you could cross-sell to that customer, and that is going to increase your lifetime value. A thing that we have to understand is that when you are launching an ad, it has to go through the learning phase. Now, with the learning phase, Facebook goes and kind of tests with different audiences to understand which type of persona is going to convert for your brand. And the first weeks it might be unstable, and for them, in order to fully optimize your campaign, we need to get 50 results. Now, the result is the thing that you are optimizing for. If you are optimizing for conversions and purchase, which I recommend, then they need to get 50 conversions within 7 days. And for luxury brands, usually that is quite impossible because you have to really spend tens of thousands of dollars in order to get those 50 conversions. So actually you don't really need to care about that, because even if you're not getting out of a learning phase, then you might still get sales. I usually see that, and it's actually not a huge problem. The most important thing for you is to get sales profitably with good return on spend. And getting that high return on spend will boil down to the things that I mentioned in this video, like social proof, branding, and having that high frequency. For now, I want you to know these key elements, as if they are well optimized, you'll already be ahead in your industry. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, like, and click on the notification bell so you don't miss on my future videos. And by the way, I upload every other day a new video, giving you as much value as possible so you could really beat your competition and get the outcomes that you deserve. So go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.